Look at yourself, constantly explaining, constantly justifying, constantly performing for people who will never respect you. You know why? Because respect is not given to those who beg. It flows to those who understand one simple truth. Power does not speak. It exists. You see people every day chasing validation, chasing approval, chasing recognition. They speak loudly about their worth. They list their accomplishments. They defend their value to anyone who questions it. And with every word, they reveal their weakness. Because the moment you need to convince someone of your power, you have already lost. True strength operates differently. It does not argue. It does not justify. It does not perform for an audience. True strength moves in silence. It observes. It calculates. It waits. And when it acts, everyone feels it. Not because it announced its presence, but because its presence is undeniable. This is what most people never understand. They confuse noise for power. They confuse explanation for authority. They confuse desperation for confidence. And they spend their entire lives exhausted from performing, from proving, from seeking external confirmation of what should be internal certainty. Stop chasing respect. The moment you chase it, you position yourself beneath it. The moment you beg for it, you confirm you don't deserve it. The moment you explain why you should have it, you prove you don't understand how it works. Respect is not a transaction. It is a recognition. And it only recognizes those who no longer need it. Silence is misunderstood in this world. People mistake it for weakness. They mistake it for uncertainty. They mistake it for lack of confidence. They are wrong. Silence is the loudest form of power. It is observation without reaction. It is strength without display. It is confidence without validation. When you stop speaking, you start seeing. You see patterns others miss. You see intentions others hide. You see weakness disguised as strength. You see fear disguised as aggression. And once you see clearly, you no longer feel the need to announce what you know. You simply use it. Most people talk because they are uncomfortable with silence. They fill space with words because emptiness exposes them. They explain themselves constantly because they fear being misunderstood. But here's the truth they refuse to accept. Being misunderstood by those who do not matter is irrelevant, and those who matter will understand without explanation. You don't owe anyone your reasoning. You don't owe anyone your justification. You don't owe anyone access to your thoughts. The more you explain, the more ammunition you give to those who never intended to understand you in the first place. Words are weapons in the hands of those who seek to manipulate you. Silence keeps your weapons hidden. Power protects itself through restraint. It does not reveal its full capacity. It does not show all its cards. It does not broadcast its next move. Power operates in shadows while everyone else performs in the light. And when power finally moves, it reshapes everything without warning. That is why the silent are feared more than the loud. The loud are predictable. You hear them coming. You know their intentions. You prepare for their moves. They announce every step. They telegraph every emotion. They leak information through their need to be heard, and in doing so, they hand control to anyone paying attention. But the silent are unknown variables. You cannot predict them. You cannot read them. You cannot prepare for them. Their thoughts remain internal. Their plans remain concealed. Their capabilities remain uncertain. And uncertainty is what makes people nervous. Uncertainty is what commands respect. This world rewards those who understand timing, not those who act first, not those who speak loudest, but those who wait until the perfect moment. And perfect moments do not announce themselves. They arrive quietly, and only the observant recognize them. Silence sharpens observation. When you stop speaking, you start noticing the way people phrase things, the way they avoid certain topics, the way they overcompensate in specific areas. Every conversation reveals more about the speaker than the subject, and those who listen more than they speak collect intelligence while others collect attention. You begin to see desperation. It shows in excessive talking, in over-explaining, in constant need for affirmation. Desperate people cannot sit in silence. They need noise to feel relevant. They need validation to feel secure. They need agreement to feel correct. And that dependence makes them weak. Strength requires no external confirmation. It knows what it is. It knows what it can do. It does not need applause to feel powerful. It does not need recognition to feel valuable. It does not need agreement to feel right. It exists independently of opinion. And that independence is what separates the strong from the weak. Stop performing your worth. Stop defending your value. Stop explaining your decisions to people who lack the capacity to understand them. Your energy is finite. Every moment spent justifying yourself is energy stolen from building yourself. Every word used to convince others is a word wasted on those who will never believe you anyway. Let your actions be your argument. Let your results be your proof. Let your consistency be your credibility. These things speak louder than any words you could ever arrange. And they speak to the right audience. The ones who matter. The ones who recognize quality without needing it explained. Respect is not something you demand. It is something you command. And you command it through presence, not through words. Presence is energy. It is how you carry yourself, how you move through space, how you occupy a room without saying anything. Presence is felt before it is seen, and it is remembered long after you leave. Those with presence do not need to announce themselves. They arrive and the energy shifts. They speak and attention focuses. They remain silent and everyone wonders what they are thinking. That wondering is power. That curiosity is respect. That uncertainty is control. You cannot build presence through talking. You build it through discipline, through restraint, through the refusal to react to everything that attempts to provoke you. Every time you remain calm when others panic, you build presence. Every time you stay silent when others argue, you build presence. Every time you observe instead of performing, you build presence. And once presence is established, words become unnecessary. Your silence carries more weight than most people's speeches. Your calm intimidates more than most people's aggression. Your restraint communicates more than most people's explanations. Because everyone knows, those who are truly dangerous do not need to announce it. Dangerous people do not threaten. They do not warn. They do not explain what they are capable of. They simply are capable, and that capability is felt. It is sensed. It is understood without being stated. This is the difference between respect and fear. Fear comes from threats. Respect comes from recognized capability. You do not need to tell people you are strong. Your discipline shows it. You do not need to tell people you are intelligent. Your decisions prove it. You do not need to tell people you are powerful. Your composure demonstrates it. Everything worth knowing about you is already visible to those who know how to look. Most people lack this understanding. They believe more words equal more impact. They believe louder voices equal more authority. They believe constant presence equals more relevance. They are wrong. Impact comes from precision. Authority comes from certainty. Relevance comes from value. And none of these require volume. Precision is economy of action, saying exactly what needs to be said, doing exactly what needs to be done. Nothing more, nothing less. Wasted words dilute your message. Wasted actions dilute your power. Wasted energy dilutes your presence. The disciplined eliminate waste, and in doing so, they multiply effectiveness. Certainty is internal. It does not fluctuate based on external opinion. It does not waver when challenged. It does not require reinforcement through repetition. Certainty is silent confidence. It knows without needing to be told. It moves without needing permission. It exists without needing validation. Value is demonstrated, not declared. Anyone can claim they bring value. Few actually deliver it, and those who deliver it consistently do not need to remind anyone. Their track record speaks. Their results speak. Their impact speaks. And those who need their value explained are revealing they provide none. This is why silence is powerful. It forces people to focus on what you do rather than what you say. It eliminates the gap between promise and delivery. It removes the possibility of empty words. Silence makes your actions the only evidence, and actions cannot lie. When you stop chasing respect and start commanding it, your entire energy changes. You stop seeking approval. You stop defending yourself. You stop explaining your choices. You stop performing for an audience that does not matter. And in that shift, something remarkable happens. The right people start paying attention. Those who matter recognize silence as strength. They recognize restraint as discipline. They recognize observation as intelligence. They respect what they cannot manipulate. And they cannot manipulate someone who does not need their approval. The weak need constant affirmation. Tell them they are smart and they work harder. Ignore them and they crumble. Criticize them and they collapse. Their entire existence depends on external validation. This makes them easy to control, easy to predict, easy to defeat. But someone who operates independently of opinion, someone who moves regardless of approval, someone who continues regardless of criticism, that person cannot be controlled, cannot be predicted, cannot be defeated through psychological warfare, because their foundation is internal, and internal foundations do not shake. Thought, this is what silence protects. Your internal foundation. Every time you explain yourself, you expose your reasoning. Every time you defend yourself, you reveal your insecurities. Every time you seek approval, you admit dependence. Silence protects all of this. It keeps your foundation hidden. It keeps your reasoning private. It keeps your strength internal. And when your strength is internal, nothing external can diminish it. Criticism does not affect you because you do not measure yourself through others' opinions. Rejection does not break you because you do not depend on others' acceptance. Isolation does not weaken you because you are complete within yourself. This completeness is what people sense. They may not understand it. They may not be able to articulate it, but they feel it. They feel your independence. They sense your self-sufficiency. They recognize your strength. And that recognition manifests as respect. You do not ask for it. You do not hint at it. You do not perform for it. You simply exist with such certainty that respect becomes the natural response. This is commanding respect, not through force, not through words, but through undeniable presence. Presence is built in silence, in the hours you spend alone, working while others sleep, training while others rest, thinking while others distract themselves. Those hours compound. They create depth. They build foundation. They develop capability. And capability is what presence is built upon. People sense capability. They may not see your training. They may not witness your preparation, but they feel the result. They feel the confidence that comes from knowing you are prepared. They sense the calm that comes from having done the work. They recognize the certainty that comes from tested capability. This is why those who work in silence command the most respect. They are not performing. They are building. And what they build becomes undeniable, not through announcement, but through demonstration. When the moment arrives, they do not talk about what they can do. They do it, and everyone watches. Silence also creates mystery, and mystery is magnetic. People are drawn to what they do not fully understand. When you reveal everything, there is nothing left to discover. When you explain everything, there is nothing left to wonder about. But when you remain silent, people fill the gaps with their imagination. And imagination always amplifies reality. Let them wonder. Let them speculate. Let them create theories about who you are and what you are capable of. Their uncertainty works in your favor, because in their uncertainty, they will assume the best of your capabilities and the worst of crossing you. This assumption creates space. Space for you to operate. Space for you to move. Space for you to dominate. Domination through silence is misunderstood. People think domination requires aggression, requires confrontation, requires force. Sometimes it does. But more often, domination comes from positioning, from patience, from allowing others to defeat themselves while you remain still. Most people cannot handle silence. In negotiations, the first to speak loses. In conflicts, the first to react loses. In competition, the first to reveal their strategy loses. Silence is strategic advantage. It forces others to show their cards while yours remain hidden. It forces others to make assumptions while you operate on facts. It forces others to act prematurely while you wait for precision. This patience is cultivated through discipline. Discipline to sit with discomfort. Discipline to resist the urge to fill silence with words. Discipline to observe without reacting. Discipline to think before speaking. Most people lack this discipline. They speak from impulse. They react from emotion. They perform from insecurity. But you are not most people. You understand that every word carries weight. That careless speech dilutes authority. That excessive explanation weakens position. You understand that silence is not emptiness. It is restraint. It is control. It is power held in reserve. And power held in reserve is always more intimidating than power displayed. Displayed power has limits. You see its extent. You measure its capacity. You calculate its threat. But reserved power is unknown, unmeasured, incalculable. That unknown is what creates respect. Because people fear what they cannot quantify. You do not need to demonstrate your full capability. You need to demonstrate enough that people understand crossing you is unwise. And then you remain silent. That silence suggests depths they have not seen, capabilities they have not witnessed, potential they have not tested. And rational people do not test what they do not understand. This is strategic positioning. You position yourself as someone whose full capability remains unknown. Someone whose patience should not be mistaken for weakness. Someone whose silence should not be mistaken for acceptance. This positioning creates boundaries without you needing to state them. People sense where the line is, and they do not cross it. Boundaries maintained through silence are stronger than boundaries maintained through words. Words can be argued with, negotiated, tested, but energy cannot be argued with. Presence cannot be negotiated. Aura cannot be tested. These things are felt, and once felt, they are respected. You build this aura through consistency, consistent discipline, consistent restraint, consistent standards. Every time you hold your tongue when provoked, you strengthen your aura. Every time you remain calm when others panic, you strengthen your aura. Every time you observe instead of reacting, you strengthen your aura. And over time, that aura becomes your reputation. Not what you say about yourself, but what others feel in your presence. That feeling is respect, not given because you asked for it, but commanded because you embodied it. Embodiment is everything. You cannot fake presence. You cannot manufacture aura. You cannot perform restraint. These things are either real or they are transparent, and people sense the difference immediately. Real power is calm. Fake power is loud. Real confidence is quiet. Fake confidence is defensive. Real strength is patient. Fake strength is aggressive. Those who truly embody power do not need to convince anyone. They know what they are. They know what they have built. They know what they are capable of. And that knowledge creates unshakable certainty. Certainty that is felt by everyone around them. This is the final stage, when respect is no longer something you think about. It is simply something you receive. Not because you chased it, but because you became someone worthy of it. Not through words, through being, through discipline, through restraint, through silence. Silence is the language of power. Those who understand this speak less and accomplish more. They explain less and achieve more. They defend less and command more, because they understand that respect is not negotiated. It is recognized. And once you stop chasing it and start commanding it, everything changes. People approach you differently. They speak to you differently. They treat you differently. Not because you demanded it, but because your presence demands it. Your energy demands it. Your aura demands it. You no longer need to prove yourself. You no longer need to justify yourself. You no longer need to explain yourself. You simply exist with such certainty that doubt becomes impossible. And in that existence, respect becomes automatic. This is what it means to command respect through silence, not through absence of words, but through presence of power. Not through refusal to speak, but through discipline to speak only when it matters. Not through weakness disguised as quiet, but through strength expressed through calm. Stop chasing respect. Stop performing for approval. Stop explaining your worth to people who will never understand it. Start building in silence. Start observing in stillness. Start moving with purpose. And watch how the world responds when power stops announcing itself and simply exists. That existence is louder than any words you could speak. That presence is more convincing than any argument you could make. That silence is more powerful than any declaration you could offer. Because true power does not explain itself. It simply is. And when you embody that truth, when you live that reality, when you become that presence, respect is no longer something you seek. It is something you command through silence, through discipline, through undeniable being. This is the way.